Change of plans. My name is Such a Boy Gods. We have a different match on a different stream. I don't know what the hell happened, but we're just going to go with it. It's actually in the middle of the draft, so let's just... Whew, I'm out of breath. I don't know about you.
I can see
you have 2 flights of stairs in this house. My goodness.
And when there's like last-minute change of plans, technical issues...
Is your mic working? I can't hear you
Test,
as well.
test.
Yeah,
okay,
that's better.
I just need to reposition. There we go. I can hear myself better now.
All right, just collect ourselves.
We have a lot of time to collect ourselves. We got a Naga Siren, so...
Yeah,
all right.
That's true. It's going to be a long-ass game.
May as well.
Unless it's a support.
Get buckled in.
That would be nice if it's... I don't know. Is it nice if it's a support?
I'm one of those people who does...
It transitions to a carry eventually anyway, if it goes long enough too, right?
I'm a bit masochistic, so I don't actually mind seeing Naga Siren games.
Okay,
you know, I'm like, oh, give me some good old Radiance Naga Siren.
So this is Big God, otherwise known as Big Dog, according to Bruno, versus Cloud9.
I like Big Good.
Yeah, I think if I was looking it up on the Team Liquid Wikipedia, and at one point it did say Big Good, like with 2 O's. Okay. So they actually thought that was the correct name for a while.
It used to be like old men or something, but then they added a female to their roster, so they couldn't really be the old men.
What do you mean they added a female to the roster?
Well, they had like a 6 or 7 person roster for a while. When this Chinese streamer, I think her name's like PC Cold or something, she was on the team.
Okay.
So
I did not know that.
Yeah, they had to have like, I don't know, this is just like a casual team. This is just, I don't know. It's like
a casual
Team Zephyr of China, basically.
What's their record right now? I'm going to look it up because we are not prepared. All right, Big God right now is 2-2, and Cloud9, I believe they're 2-2. Yeah, they're 2-2 as well. So
Cloud9's like a 2-2, but I feel like they've been playing really well.
Yeah, I'm trying to... well, the secret game they got dumped on.
They got techies on, yeah.
That was...
And yesterday was what, EG they lost to? No, they lost to eHome. That was the close game against eHome.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was bad luck. I thought they should have won that game. The secret game, I was like, okay, I think Cloud9's going to win, but then when I saw the draft and I saw techies, I agree with Cinder. He's kind of a garbage hero in general, but they go in with that strat. I'm like, okay, they must know something. But the funny thing is, he made no difference. It was literally 4 versus 5, and they stomped.
It's a morale thing. It's like, dude, we just pick techies. It's like, for one thing, it's like we believe. It's so much confidence if you believe you can win with it.
Yeah.
And, I don't know.
Well, I mean, at this point, not that this is relevant for this game, but I'm not betting against Team Secret anymore. They have, like, Zai. That is, so far of the entire tournament, he's got to be MVP for me, at least. His play has been unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, EG Secret, both undefeated. I haven't seen enough. I don't think I've seen a single... I haven't got to cast one. I've, like, caught little snippets, but...
Oh, you haven't cast a secret game yet?
No, I haven't cast a Rave game.
Oh, Rave.
I was thinking of like which of these 3 teams are doing really well. Like,
I think I cast one of theirs. Yeah, it was a close game. Wasn't truly impressed. I mean, this is still really early.
Yeah.
I mean, remember TI4. Newbie just did horribly in the group stages.
Yeah. EG, I'd say Fear and Sumail being really standout players there as well. But
well, I think the main thing to keep in... I think this is the difference between TI4 and this tournament is... well, the group stage, the bottom 4 get eliminated, but the 4 above that, meaning 9 through 12, they start out in the lower bracket.
Yeah.
So you actually want to be top 8. It's actually extremely important to get to
that. It's kind of like TI2-esque, or
yeah.
I think it was
and
TI2
I think I prefer that person. It was TI2 or TI3?
TI2 did. TI3 also did. I think TI3 also did.
I'm having trouble remembering. But anyway.
Yeah, TI3 also did. Where it was like all 16 teams went to the main event, but and the bottom eight all started in the lower bracket.
Because everybody was shown in the main event. That's true.
So they had the same format except there was 1 extra round. So like imagine this, but the bottom 8 all started in the lower bracket against each other.
Yeah, okay.
So
that works. All right, so the lineups. So far, Big God picked up Bat Rider, Naga Siren, Witch Doctor. Bat Rider is, I feel like, has been underpicked until this tournament, and now I don't know if you've been casting a lot of these games. Every single game I've been casting has a Bat Rider.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
I think it's the Western teams who don't prioritize him as much. The top Chinese teams have been still prioritizing him a lot over.
It's funny
as long as I can remember.
The Western teams don't, but they prioritize Wisp.
Yeah,
and the Chinese ignore him, except they're actually banning it this time against No-Tail. So can't blame them for that. But on the other side, Ancient Apparition, Disruptor, Venomancer, Anti-Mage for Cloud9.
Yeah. Ven is
Look at this
sick.
Garbage. This Skype. Can I sign out? Actually, does DND not take off these messages?
It's because we're on a little proxy thing. It doesn't show up on the stream because we got the game capture.
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to click on in the middle of the game.
You can log out. I don't want people curving on my Skype.
All right. Don't want to see those secret messages. Okay, so looking at the lineup, Anti-Mage picked up fourth, Venomancer looks to be a core.
Yeah.
Disruptor, Ancient Apparition.
I think the Ven is a Fata here. I feel like the only time you can pick Anti-Mage is when your opponents go for this, like Naga or Morphling.
Mm-hmm.
And Envy loves Anti-Mage.
The only
so.
Anti-Mage I've seen this tournament was... Oh, I can't remember who it was. But they went Crimson Guard. They didn't go Battle Fury at all.
The Artez on Hellraisers. Yeah.
And it did not work out.
Yeah. But the lanes worked okay. They were actually looking like they were going to beat Secret, but...
Yeah. It started out fine, but they just didn't get aggressive enough once those items were picked up, I guess. And last pick. Okay, so what do they need? They need an off-lane hero, probably Initiation to some degree, like a Clockwork, Oh, Clockwork's actually banned, but a Centaur. We haven't seen Centaur. God.
What's the Bone 7 hero? Like a Legion Commander, maybe?
Yeah, LC's not bad. I mean, I think Centaur's just more...
Yeah, Centaur.
Like LC, you
got your Centaur bias going, eh?
That's true. That is true. But trying to see it from an unbiased view, Centaur... Okay, they're going to pick up a Nyx. Nyx is not too bad. I feel like the LC is... You rely on a good start, and it's hard to catch up with an LC. Yeah. And not the case for Centaur or Nyx Assassin in this case.
I think the Stampede isn't exactly useful against Lasso or Ensnare. It's good against the Hex because you get the max movement speed when Hex, but Nyx is the Batrider counter. I mean, at least pseudo counter. You set up a guaranteed Impale off of the Carapace, and it's not really a fun hero for Batrider to have to deal with.
You know what's good? This is actually insane. You're talking about Batrider counters. Vengeful Spirit is not picked or banned. And she's been like first or second picked every single game, just about, if not banned.
What did Cloud9 doing picking up Disruptor second?
Yeah, that is,
it's like,
and you don't see a Disruptor very often.
But it's not like a fully makes Batrider useless. I feel like if you want to counter the Bat, you're better off getting Avenged to insta swap cancel the Lasso rather than playing around Glimpse.
There's something funky strat going on for sure. I mean, typically see Disruptor when there's Wisp, but obviously that was banned. So Alchemist last pick. Wow,
that's a mid.
It's a Zhao 8.
Yeah,
Alchemist, very nice.
Oh, this mid lane can be. Fata puts down his wards, Alchemist puts down the acid, and they just both look at each other while creeps die. That's going to be like the most uneventful mid lane of all time. Yeah, I would assume that's definitely going to be the case. So it is going to be the Fata Venomancer. I am very excited to see that. Big Daddy No-Tail on this. Actually, we'll wait for the in-game to go over the lineups. That could be swapping, you know?
Yeah.
Could be,
do you think that's an actual mind game that people play, that players sometimes do? Do you think that's a legitimate thing?
But normally, nowadays, teams will always check if there's any doubt.
But you can swap, like, how long does it take? Like, what's the limit? Because you can do like 15, 30 seconds in, I'm pretty sure.
And does it let you do it after you've bought items? In matchmaking, it does, so...
Yeah, since I'm not a professional player, I can say for sure, but that could actually be something legitimate to think, like, taking the Naga, for example, and Alchemist. Both of them are interchangeable as far as one could be a support, one could be a carry.
Yeah.
And depending on who's playing it, perhaps you're going to try to build differently or lane differently. And it looks like we're off. My sound is not on. Oh, it's actually muted. Hold on.
So I didn't make it into the game, but I can watch and observe. I'm on your camera perspective.
Camera work.
Yeah, I've got the. Don't worry, it's the Zaire camera work. So if you mess up, people are going to make a Reddit thread about him. So you don't have to worry.
Okay, I am Zaire. If I screw up, do you know the command for the minimap thing?
The size of the little icon?
It changes every time. It's really
Dota. Have you got console up?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Zaire. Zaire, why? What do you use for console, Zaire? This is unacceptable. Okay, we're going to make do, and... Well, you're going to be looking at
I'm 10 seconds behind
my computer as well. Oh, it's only 10 seconds?
Roughly 10. 15.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty short. I'm at 50. Yeah, I'm actually exactly 10 seconds behind you. It's not bad at all.
Okay, I figured it would be like 2 minutes. So there's no delay on Dota TV.
Yeah, it's essentially zero. This is like Twitch is even like 20, 25 just because of the inbuilt delay.
Right. I believe that was a counter ward right off the bat. So Radiant going to be very happy about that. God, these icons are so small. It's okay. All right, Cloud9, Big Daddy No-Tail going to be playing the Disruptor. Eternal Envy on the Anti-Mage. Misery on his Ancient Apparition. Fada, as we talked about, the core Venomancer mid. And offlane Bone 7, who apparently is sponsored by G2A, Nyx Assassin.
Who isn't sponsored by G2A these days.
They had the Summit 2, every other time in the sun.
Yeah. So Dire Heroes, we've got Zhao 8 on the Alchemist. Going to go mid Lamb. Going to be playing the Lion. In the top lane, support Ice on the Witch Doctor. Not to be confused with Ice. It's going to be Burning on the Naga Siren. And off lane, Batrider. Going to be ROTK. I think this is good. I feel like the games I've seen Big God do well and then win, it's when RTK's been on a good RTK hero, which to me is Bat, Tide, and just nothing that's like too far, nothing that's going to carry on. He played a Viper, which went horrifically wrong, and his Bat Rider, I think, is his best hero.
And Bat Rider has a huge impact on the game. We've been seeing that a lot in this tournament, and it's great to see. No Tail's going to be try to zone him out. Hasn't skilled anything on his Disruptor yet. ROTK going to use a Firefly to get decent position for some XP. Top lane. There's a sheep onto Bone 7 along with the cast. This is going to be enough for first blood. Right clicks might suffice. And yes, down he goes to the Witch Doctor. That is a really quick kill.
They didn't waste any time.
Yeah. But that's one of the things we were talking about. Like Nyx Assassin, he can catch up, but he is kind of an easy kill against Tri-Lane, as opposed to like a Clockwork or a Centaur.
I feel like the Disruptor pick was picked entirely for the laning stage against the Bat. You have more killing power with a Disruptor than Avenge because of the glimpse, but if you're not getting kills or if Bat Rider somehow still gets XP, this is where the Disruptor pick's not going to work out because Avenge is just a better mid-gamer than the Disruptor. And Disruptor, I think, has something like a 35% win rate in this patch, and it's a hero that just does nothing when you're behind. It's pretty good when you're ahead just because you've got such good pick-off potential, but if you're in a weaker position, like you're not using glimpse to get kills. You glimpse someone in, the other team just fights and kills you. So
I feel like it's picked up more often than not just as a counter, right? Like, but
that's the weird thing. It's like if you're picking a hero exclusively like in niche situations as a counter, like to wisp something, it should have like a 60-70 win percent because it's a counter
so
pick.
Apparently it's not a great counter pick at the end of the day.
Yeah.
According to math.
Yeah, it's a weird hero.
I miss the Disruptor core, like the old Bulba mid. I thought that was super good. I mean, getting early levels on a hero like that can be really helpful for your team.
I think he's almost just as viable as a mid as he is as a support, but
yeah, I agree.
His main weakness is just that he can't like clear out the creep wave. You can't push it out fast to go for runes. And
yeah, Thunderstrike is pretty underwhelming for that. Is it Thunderstrike?
Yeah, it's really good level 1. It does a ton of damage, but
yeah, that was recently buffed, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he got an extra strike or something, or it does like 20 more damage per each strike.
I think it was like the damage was lowered a bit, but an extra strike overall, so it ends up being more damage overall.
I think it's at level 1 the highest single target damage nuke almost. It's like 160 or 120.
He still hasn't skilled, by the way. He's level 2. 40 damage
160.
times 4. Yeah.
I think like even Shadow Shaman's Shock is like 110 or something even, but yeah, nothing. I don't think there's any other nukes that do 160 at level 1.
Yeah, you might be right. It's up there at least. More lag, apparently.
PP.
What do you think of Venomancer mid in general?
He's annoying as all hell. I don't know.
Well, how about this matchup? Just Alp versus Alchemist. I mean, it's a melee hero, so Venomancer should be happy about that, right?
Yeah, I think Alk's a good hero to put mid against the Veno, just because you need a hero that's just going to sit mid and just not let Veno walk all over the lane. Like, if you have a mid hero that wants to go off ganking, it doesn't work well because Veno will then just pressure the tower.
Well, he's going to stun himself, but he'll live through the day.
Gets the acid down.
Unfortunately for Bone 7, he's been forced completely out of this top lane. He's level 1.5, as opposed to the Bat Rider, who's level 2. So actually not that far apart at the end of the day.
Bat end of the day is though going to accelerate his farm and do a lot once he falls back to the jungle. And even if with or without stacks, with stacks he gets a 12-minute blink dagger still. Without, he can still get a pretty decent time. So it's always one of those things where Bat Rider just needs to get a little bit of XC, get level 2, get level 3, and he's pretty good then.
And the unfortunate, keep talking crap about Nyx Assassin. You can't really do anything if you get forced out of lane because you can't go into the Ancients. Alchemist going to pop his stun. He's going to use it on himself. He denies himself. Oh my god, was that even planned? I don't know.
No.
I think got impaled while it was active, right? So that was just luck of the draw.
That was... They rotate, and because they rotate all those heroes in, Misery. He's maybe dead.
Puts Chilling Touch on himself, and Anti-Mage doing a lot of damage to ROTK, but ROTK is out of mana, which means Anti-Mage doesn't really do that much now. It will take 2, maybe 3 more right clicks. I don't think he wants to go for this. 1, 2, and does he have that movement speed? He does have boots. Treads picked up at the same time. Alchemist rotation, and down he goes to the Unstable Concoction.
Oh, God.
So it's a 1-for-1. Anti-Mage did not want to die there.
No.
Was that worth it?
It wasn't. And he only barely got that kill. I think it was lucky to get that kill.
Yeah.
Well, not lucky, but it was just like a very fine thing. He only just made it.
Right, more rotations as Lanam and Xiaowei. Xiaowei does get the stun off before the glimpse, but it's going to be enough to force everybody back. And RTK is back in the fold, level 3. What is Nyx Assassin doing here? I feel like this should open it up for some XP. He's going to steal some mid. I'm surprised.
He may take mid and Veno go top. I think at this point, like, they really... they'd rather keep the Venom mid, but it's just not working. So as far as for the Nyx, Nyx is not a hero that can just catch up in the jungle, and you can't just have Nyx kind of become a support. You've already got 2 kind of non-farming supports in Disruptor AA, and if you have 3 non-farming supports with a Nyx getting nothing, you're in trouble. So they're going to try to get Nyx level 6 at mid, and then probably look to have him go ganking with Disruptor AA. This is a really bad start for Cloud9. Naga's having a great time up top, and no one can stop the Naga's farm at this rate. Everyone else in Big God can just create space, do enough pressure that Naga's going to get like a 16, 17 minute Radiance probably.
Yeah, it seems like their biggest plays here are just getting as much farm as possible on the AM. And even then, I mean, I guess he comes online if he wants to a little bit earlier than the Naga Siren, especially if you want to... Oh, Nyx Assassin gets destroyed mid lane.
Oh, man, this Bone 7
Poor
is...
Bone 7.
You know, he's definitely like the biggest, like, as far as like the variation in his performances, I think he has the highest, like, he reaches the highest performances, but also has the biggest lows. Like, he is just such a volatile
large
player.
Discrepancy overall.
Yeah, yeah. When he plays well, he can play out of his mind, but some of his bad games are really bad. I remember there's one game where he just was like 0-7 at 15 minutes, and every time before he died, he just bought TP scrolls so he didn't lose gold.
So you're saying he pulled an IX mic overall?
Yeah, he pulled an IX mic, but it was hilarious because his inventory, he had 8 TP scrolls in his inventory because he just kept buying TPs before he died so he didn't lose money.
Yeah.
But then at some point, he just kept buying TPs, and it's like, well...
Did you ever see that one? I think it might have been in Dota 2, actually, where Earthshaker was getting destroyed so hard and he wanted to get the Blink Dagger. He just kept buying a recipe. I forget which one it was. A recipe over and over, and he just amalgamated enough of them to where he could sell them for a Blink Dagger at one point.
I think it happened in Dota 1 because you could sell recipes back for like more than the 50%. It was like Dota 1 thing where...
It wasn't 100% though, right?
No, I think it was either 75 or 80.
Ooh.
So you'd buy recipes before you died.
Oh, it's going to take more than one hit? Oh my god, it's barely going to live with the DD rune. If this was a melee here, that's a one-shot. Oh. That is unfortunate for Big God.
And that's with the Lion's buffed bonus damage, too.
Yeah, what is that? 6 damage, right?
Yeah, I thought he had... Well, he was close to having that.
Well, what was the change to the Courier where the melee heroes do more? Do you remember what the exact stats were?
No.
I'm having trouble remembering that.
I'm not a mechanics guy.
Yeah, I know. I'm used to Synderen. And then, actually, no. He always fails with that, too. I just like to put him in his place, you know? Just what I do. Disruptor, surprisingly enough, gets Arcane at 7 minutes. That is not too shabby for Disruptor. But he is playing, it seems like the 4 role. Misery is playing 5 at the moment.
Yeah, they're getting a good XP. And at this point, if he gets a fast level 6, at least he can look to make something happen on the map, like gank someone like the Naga Siren.
Chao Wei takes a Thunder Strike to the face, but no harm, no foul. And everybody's going to go about their business.
Disruptor, one of the few heroes who can actually...
Uh-oh. See, this is what happens when the icons are so small. Jesus. Oh, top lane. Bone 7 getting a kill of his own.
It's the count.
Against the Lion. Might be able to clean up, too. Doesn't have enough mana for anything else. In fact, everything's off cooldown. Or on cooldown, I should say. Spike Carapace going to put Burning back just a tad. It's enough to get away. So it's a 1-for-1 exchange overall.
Yeah, but more space for Naga. I don't think Nyx can't really stay in that top lane, so Naga's farming. RTK is getting farmed. Surprisingly, he's taking over mid lane. I feel like you just want to go jungle. You can farm faster in the jungle than in lane, but yeah, probably it's a temporary thing.
Vata looking for the rune, but it seems as if ROTK is going to take it. He has 1,200 gold right now. Oh, nice deny by the Plague Ward. Vata, so cheeky are you. But ROTK can just go in the jungle, so...
Oh, he's got a lot of Mud Golems. That's probably half the reason why he's just like, Mud Golems at both medium camps. Not fun.
Do you think any changes need to be made to Mud Golems?
I love.
I think that's a good. It's a good thing to have. Like,
I think it's a
bad RNG in the jungle.
I mean, I mentioned liking Naga. Like, I think Mud Golems are like.
You like the unpopular thing.
I don't know. I don't know why people hate on Mud Golems, because there's so many heroes where you find Mud Golems and they're really good money and XP for how easy they are to kill if you've got like some physical damage.
Right. But like for junglers, like Batrider, that's miserable, obviously, and Chen and Enchantress.
I mean, if you're a Chen or Enchantress and you find a Satyr camp, it's just as bad. Like, what are you going to do? You're not nuking it down. I don't know. It's like a very low chance. I get like a 1 in 4 chance you get the Centaurs. I hate the Ogre camp. The Ogre camp is the bad. You get
barely anything.
They're so tanky, the big orange Ogres, and you get nothing out of them.
In a kinetic field, nothing he can do. Right clicks from EE and Misery will take him down. It's 4-5 in favor of Big God at the moment. Yeah. Even with that kill, it just feels like Big God is winning. They're up in the gold, they're up in XP. I mean, not by a drastic margin, but like you talked about, Naga Siren, there's no answer at the moment. And they're not going to have one. They just have to kill everybody else on the map, I feel.
I went for Soaring Naga Siren. That's going to
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Interesting.
What do you think about that?
It's instead
Just
of a
gonna spam out the
bottle,
lanes.
yeah. Normally you'd go the bottle Aquila or bottle Bassi Aquila Quelling Blade. Like this is the only difference, yeah, from the normal is the Sol Ring instead. I guess just not wanting to type the courier with bottle crowing, and I don't know. I think it's okay. I think because he's had such an easy lane, he can spam Mirror Illusions and Riptide. The main issue with the Sol Ring is you lose HP, but no one's really come up to the lane to pressure him. But that could change soon. Disruptor is one of those heroes which could look to go gank him, especially now that Disruptor is level 6.
And something we didn't mention, although he's just leveling it now, Zhao, the Greevil's Greed. I believe that was changed in the last patch as well. The stack, or the maximum amount you can get from a stack is higher, I believe, right? The cap, if you will.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep in mind as the game progresses and he's able to actually get a little bit more farm. There's going to be a gank attempt here, perhaps. Bone 7 placing a sentry, not finding anything. We really want to kill this Naga Siren. It's going to be a tough order, especially with this counter gank from BG coming. They're going to find... Oh, it's actually going to get dissipated. They're going to put a sentry. They're going to see Bone 7. There's the Sheep, Maledict, everything being used. Bone 7 is going to get cleaned up. Absolutely no problem. And that means Fata and Disruptor, Big Daddy No-Tail, going to have to get the hell out of here.
That was really nice. They just knew... They had this feeling that Burring's about to be ganked. Even without a lane ward there, like, Cloud9's like, okay, we've got the sentry there in CS, and uh-oh, Cloud9, speaking of which, Misery is going to, well, meet a miserable fate.
Indeed. Down he goes, and he has enough for a Blink Dagger, so 11-minute Blink Dagger, not too bad at all. And I mean, we compare this to the Knicks. I hate coming back to Bone 7. I love this guy. I think he's a really good player, but you're right. And it's not even his fault. It's just the hero in this specific game. It's not good in the laning stage. And he has 500 gold compared to the Bat Rider.
It's definitely not a hero you want to pick on the Radiant side. It's harder to get XP as well.
But Kinetic Field, Plague, or Poison Nova, I should say. Burning, taking so much damage. Is there a Gale for a deny? He's getting healed up, in fact, by Ice Ice.
Song? He should Song.
Yeah, he has Song, but he falls in the end. And that was really smart by Fata not using his Gale. He's going to trade his life, but this is certainly worth it. So the reason you don't use Gale is because nothing can be denied other than the Gale from the Venom.
Burning thought he was dead, so he went to not put the song on cooldown, but the Voodoo saved him. If he songed, he could have just ran back to base, but...
What, did he take extra damage after that? I thought he just ticked down.
He took, well, that was like the Plague Ward, I think. The Plague Ward, I think, was one.
One Plague Ward hit?
I think so. It got the hit and the poison sting on him.
I mean, is that something you... Because this is a long cooldown for level 1 Song of the
That's why I looked at that. I'm like, it was smart to hold it, but then I was like, wait a second, the Voodoo will actually. I'm 80% certain it would have saved him.
Oh my god. Okay, you're trying to D-ward? Fuck you. Eat this finger, man.
I can DVR this, man.
That is level. He almost has a Blink Dagger on Lion. Lanham always finds his farm. It's just so ridiculous.
That's actually pretty crazy.
I mean, we've talked about this team. Everybody on this team is extremely talented. They're old veterans, as you might want to call them. It's just the only question is the chemistry, right? Because they've been together not that long. They haven't taken things as seriously, but at times they look like their old selves, if that makes sense. And it's impressive.
And the thing is, like, they have these moments, like, they just know Dota so well that they can read sometimes what each other is doing and thinking. Like, they'll just know when they're going to get back up, when they're not, so... For the most part, this game's looking pretty good. The Anti-Mage's still out-farming everyone, but that's... I mean, that is pre-Battle Fury, so... Anti-Mage's just getting a bit more left alone now, but once Naga gets Radiance, Naga can just keep the hero safe while sending the illusions out. This is going to be just classic big Anti-Mage versus big Naga kind of game. Both will accelerate their farm when they get that Battle Fury or Radiance. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like... Not that this game is over by any means, but they have a lot of answers for Anti-Mage, and they don't. And C9 does not have a lot of answers for Naga. Like, they have the Bat Rider initiation. Naga obviously is pretty decent in her own right, but really the one wild card is the Alchemist. If he can get farm, if he can get like an Abyssal Blade at some point, probably not first, but at some point, that's a huge lockdown potential against Anti-Mage, and they just have a ton of answers. We'll see if they can actually use the tools that are given to them to actually take him out consistently. They have 3 great initiators who can catch Anti-Mage by surprise with Blink Lion, Blink Lasso, as well as the Shadow Blade Alch Stun. So C9 have nothing that really matches that. You can Vendetta in a Nyx, but if there's sentries, that ruins your day. Yeah. And of course, when you Blink Hex, it disables the spell shield completely, so Finger of Death actually hurts the Anti-Mage quite a bit. Top lane, we might have a fight. They're thinking about it, but... Yeah. Zhao 8 just wants to farm. They like the top lane because they know Big God have no lane ward. They got the sentry down, so they feel it's a place where they can apply some pressure and slow down the Naga farm and even either get a tower or make some kills happen. But
She has 3,500 gold, so gonna have to get that Sacred Relic very shortly. Zhao 8 in the meantime picks up a Shadow Blade, so he's gonna look for a lot of gank potential here.
Yeah, normally you see the blink, but I kind of like this. You mentioned like getting the Basher and just being more of a carry, and the Shadow Blade definitely helps that.
I think it's going to clip them. Oh, did that give enough vision?
It's scouted, yeah. At least those are ping, so I assume it scouted them.
Misery holding on to 1,400 gold. I think he might go hand of Midas, honestly, to try to do a little catch-up Dota.
That's like your classic Misery. You just see M's used to go Midas.
ROTK is not going to find enemy force because Misery did TP to mid. But speaking of Midas, Fata did pick up one of his own. He's been left pretty much untouched this whole game. Zhao 8 gonna end up stunning himself yet again.
Yeah. If he finds Anti-Mage, probably a solo kill with the Acid plus right clicks there. Anti-Mage is nothing against the physical damage, so...
And ROTK, Stafford Wizard, he's working towards his 4-staff already. He is doing super good. And there's that blink online that we talked about. And this has huge implications on the game.
It really feels like this is like 2 farming heroes versus 3 with Nyx getting nothing. Nyx just feels like a support entirely this game.
Yeah.
And even the big god supports, Lion with a blink already can make plays happen. Whereas
do you think any hero would have been better other than, I mean, we mentioned some, but any heroes that you thought would have done a lot better than Nyx? As Zhao might. He's going to get glimpsed, but the AL will not connect. He's invisible. Do they have vision? I guess they do, because they're just going to right-click him down. Oh yeah, there's a sentry right here. Okay. Did not see that.
Just blending into the map. I'm not sure what would have been better. I could see a Puck being okay just for some extra damage. They needed an initiator, I think, end of the day. And that's where a Centaur-type hero would be really good. Like, I mean, the Central Legion Commander is just a little bit safer, perhaps. Both can fall back to the jungle a bit.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Axe would have been kind of nice, but I think the main thing was Axe
probably banned, I'm assuming. It's been like auto-ban material. That would be hilarious if you... I mean, Venge wasn't banned, so who knows? Who knows at this point? Blink being used here by Lan M. Going to be counter-warding or attempting to with that sentry of his. And EE, he does have Battle Fear. He picked that up a couple minutes ago. And almost has enough for a full Yasha. And once he has Manta, then he can really just start fighting. I suppose that's when... I mean, he's not, if you're anti-mage, you never want to stop farming, I guess. you still want to... Yeah. If you're down this much, you probably would want to have a couple of fights.
You farm, you split push a bit. If you think you can get a good counter initiation off, you go. He's going to go for the Vlads too, so he wants to... This definitely says he wants to farm. He doesn't want to fight with the Vlads pickup. This is just to help keep him out, sustain him. He can farm Ancients. He can
Look at the patience here. They've been sitting here for 30, 40 seconds. Lanham has finger up, ROTK has lasso, but this ends up being a complete waste of time.
They just feel like the anti-mage eventually will come to that camp, but it's a matter of how long can they wait.
Oh, they just smoked. And it's going to get dissipated once they go up this cliff. And they know Bone 7 forced to use Vendetta. And ROTK is not going to do anything better. We're having an exchange mid lane, and Pale's going to hit Zhao 8. That's where it pops up. It's not going to bounce on anybody yet. It's not in range. Zhao 8 goes down to the Mana Void and the right clicks of Eternal Envy. Meanwhile, looks like Nyx Assassin fellas is in this engagement as well. Radiance now picked up by the Naga Siren, who's not wanting to fight as of yet.
Yeah.
And that is scary. 18-minute Radiance as a courier is taken out, but nothing was on it.
Yeah, Envy behind the tier 2. Just being pesky. So a bit slow Radiance than I would have expected, considering Naga's lane, but still a really good timing. And Envy ahead of the Naga on farm for now, and that's probably going to stay that way a little bit. But the main thing is Naga just has the ability to split push at multiple lanes at once. Oh, the sheep on the EE gets mana drained a bit. Didn't get the tower tonight too. Oh, they got the glimpse back.
Oh boy, into the kinetic field. This should be more than enough to take out Lan M. Sorry, who got the tower?
The Dire. So they didn't deny it, but they got the kill.
Probably. Okay.
About a 50-50 trade.
It's tough to say.
At this point, like, the Lion dying isn't really a big issue. It does accelerate Envy's farm a little bit, gets him like another 300-400 gold if he gets the kill. So
at the same time, it's not a typical Lion. This is a decently farmed Lion at the same time, right? So not too shabby. But burning. I don't think we've seen Song the whole game. It's level 2 right now. They're going to see Bone 7. They're going to try to bait him in. Perhaps a little bit too obvious with their movement, and Bone 7's going to back up. Misery's going to find a nice little ward, eat it up. He has a point booster, so this is what I was thinking. I was thinking Disruptor might get the early farm just for the Arcane and then fall into the 5 position where AA Misery would end up getting an Ags, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing, and I love this choice.
He didn't go for the minus, but I think his Ags does, I guess, a bit comparable to the Disruptors, but you're not against like a hero that's going to be keeping. Against a Naga, I feel like the Ags Disruptor is not
Well,
crucial.
I think it's amazing against Alchemist, but the problem is he's going to be going BKB. So if he can get that off first, that'd be a pretty big deal. But ever since that one change, that's the when that change came about with Chemical Rage just being regen instead of static HP. First hero I thought it was AA. I don't know why, but it's pretty dirty if you get it off. But burning 1,300 gold now. Courier dead for another minute. We haven't really seen much initiation for ROTK since he picked up this Blink. We've seen like one, maybe two. He hasn't been as active. He's been running around with land. Just haven't found anybody yet.
Yeah, I think they've got the right idea where it's like they're the gank unit while Naga farms and even the Alchemist farms, but they've just been moving to the wrong places. I think sometimes you find the gank, sometimes you don't. Like that camp they were waiting at, often Antimage would blink to that camp to farm it. Like that's just part of his farm pattern throughout the Radiant jungle, and if they were just there at 30 seconds earlier or maybe 30 seconds later, maybe they kill the Antimage. So it's one of those small things where sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It was just... It's not like a make or break part of their plan, but obviously it helps them a lot if they find and kill an Antimage.
Well, AM, like you said, has the Vlads, and in a blink of an eye has 2,600 gold on top of that. Now do you go Manta?
Yeah, you go Manta. Manta, I don't think this is going to be a straight into BKB kind of game. Probably just like Manta Basher or Manta Butterfly type thing.
So you think BKB is going to be the pick over the Heart at some point?
For the Anti-Mage?
Yeah.
If he wants to fight, yeah, probably against the line, BKB's nice.
Uh-oh, Bone 7 again getting caught out. They used 2 ultimates for the kill, but
bad of a gem. Yeah,
considering how little fights we've been seeing, it's probably worth it in the end. Cooldown's not going to make a big difference. No tail. Well, wrong place, wrong time. Down you go. Glimpse. All right. Burning's going to go back farming.
Yeah,
I click on the showcase mode. Very nice.
That's pretty nice for Burning. He gets the kill XP and money, and then gets taken back to farm. Gets back to where his jungle is too. I guess maybe he was thinking he could put. Well, bottom lane already got the tier 1, so.
No Tail was playing the 6th position for Big God right there, just for a brief moment. But Burning now, Boots of Travel, and after this, he's going to start going a little bit tanky. Either Manta, Heart, something of that nature. Here comes the initiate from Fata. That is going to be a lot of damage. There's no way he lives through this. Gets the Ensnare. Perhaps they can set up another kill. Ice. Gets the cast, going to cancel the TP, and that should be enough for the kill on top of the Maledict. Down he goes, but certainly worth it for Fata.
Worth it. I think that was a nice move from Burning. A lot of Nagas there were just like panic ultimate, or I guess he didn't have a TP. He TP'd bottom, but a lot of Nagas would just panic ulti, but then just you die to the. That was a level 2 Poison Nova. How's Venno doing?
That's true.
He's got level 14. Yeah, level 2 Poison Nova, max scale. That was a kill even if he songs there. So.
Yeah, Blink Initiation's so powerful. I mean, I'm assuming he goes Ags next because that's pretty standard and pretty ridiculous. Turns it to a level. It just scales it up, essentially. So once he has level, it's essentially a level 4 ult. Once you have a level 3.
The 60-second cooldown at level 3 is pretty nuts, too. It's one of those weird things where not only are you getting insane damage, but the cooldown just happens to go from 100 seconds to 60 seconds on your ultimate.
How do you look at the...
It doesn't... It says there on the numbers. A lot of spells, though, it's a spectator thing. It doesn't actually tell you what the Ags upgrade does. Volvo, please fix.
So 40-second reduction in... I'm looking at the level 3. In cooldown. That is insane, actually. 60-second cooldown is pretty large.
Yeah.
And, of course, a ridiculous amount of damage on top of that. Of course, you do need a way to finish them off in some regard. Which is what Poison Sting is for, I suppose. Alchemist, I feel like something's on the courier for him. It has to be.
That's his BKB.
And, of course, Iori's keys are terrible, so I don't know what the courier key is. Yeah, BKB in full, along with TP. So Zhao 8 in fighting mode, ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Level 4 Grievel's Greed.
This is a tough game for Anti-Mage. Like Anti-Mage is like a kind of split push type hero. Even when he's ahead like this, he wants to just pressure lanes if Big God ever push somewhere. But Big God have such good catching potential that Envy can't really safely push any lane because of the just ability for a Blink Lion or Blink Batrider to catch him out and get him before he uses the Manta style even. So Envy kind of is just forced to just farm jungles, farm lanes, but never really pressure lanes. He can't actually get close to towers and try and truly do any real damage to them.
It looks like the pause. The good thing about these pauses is there have been a lot of them, but they haven't lasted very long, and that's something we can be thankful for, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because if it's been like all these pauses with like 30+ minutes, that would just be miserable. But these aren't too bad.
Did you know Cloud9 they pause more than like their average pauses per game is like 1.7, which is higher than any other team in the tournament.
By how much? How is there a stat on that?
And I think it's like Team Secret, who has one of the lowest. They have like 0.6 pauses per game.
Really?
Yep.
They're just hardcore.
Cloud9 pause gamers.
I guess so.
That is a confirmed stat. I don't know if the numbers are right.
That's pretty
but
insane, actually. If you think
It's
about
like give or take a little bit of pause there.
So literally every single game, there's a pause, at least one pause from Cloud9.
Yeah, one and a bit. It was the Dota guys who helped us prepare. Big shout out to those guys. Some stats for this tournament. They're like, here's a stat for you. Cloud9 pulls more than any other team.
Oh man, BKB popped by Zhao. It's a complete surprise for Bone 7, and he goes down to the right clicks yet again. Poor guy. Is that an actual stat they can keep track of, or is it a manual thing?
I think it comes out of they got it from the API.
I was going to say, that's pretty insane that they did that manually. They have to go through every pause. How miserable would that be, having to go through every pause to cut down the stats? In Dota 1, you'd have to do that, I guess.
But yeah, they got all kinds of crazy info from the replay files. Like, they found out how many games each caster had done, and yeah, pause time.
It's pretty sweet.
All kinds of little niche.
So this counts as a Zyori cast, so that's already irrelevant.
I had to catch up, so the entire downstairs studio games, all the games from the BTS stream are on my account. So I'm racking up the games cast.
What a pro!
Gotta catch up some. I wasn't even on the list because I have weird Steam names apparently. My Steam name they had was like Avocado, and they didn't realize Avocado was me because
Avocado.
They just didn't know.
I didn't know avocado was you.
They're delicious. That's a story.
Would you take a bite out of an avocado? Like
skin and
by
everything?
itself? No, not with skin.
Oh yeah, avocado by itself.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, so I prefer it like with stuff, but
so you like guacamole?
Oh yeah, guacamole.
Okay, I can be on board. Avocados. Okay, here we go. We're gonna have to talk about it in a little bit. Alchemist is gonna stunt. Okay, well, EE at half HP, but here comes the static from BKB. Is gonna avoid all of this damage. Big Daddy Noto might sacrifice his life for the better good. Fata doesn't want to use Poison Oak because BKB is still up for Zhao. Here comes the Death Ward. He's in the wrong place at the wrong time. Again, down he goes. It's a 1-for-1 at the current moment in time. Fata doesn't have enough mana for Poison Nova. Is he going to go down before using it? Finally gets it off. Dies shortly after. No Tail somehow still alive. Has Glimpse. Uses it on ROTK. Not allowed to keep him in place in that kinetic field. And it looks like he's going to tick down one way or another. And No Tail trades his life as Zhao 8 right-clicks him down again. And TP's out to safety.
Yeah, these fights just not going well. I mean, Big God, they trade kind of 3 for 3-ish, but it's all their important heroes dying. The Naga, the Alchemist staying alive. Naga farming and pushing lanes.
It's 4v5 gaming.
Yeah, 4v5 gaming. Anti-Mage, at this point, I think he kind of needs to fight just because he's not really able to split push this game. And hey, they may lose more.
Yeah, finger. Actually, it wasn't quite enough, but he drops a gem. Oh, man.
Is that the Bat's old gem, or is that... Who owns
Does it
that
actually
gem?
say? Ice.
Yeah, so that's the Big God gem. So they just got it back.
They get their gem back. Very nice. And that sucks for Bone 7. Again, sucks for Bone 7. He has a Dagon, by the way. What do you think about that?
I think it's okay. They just needed damage. Like, they need burst damage. The AA Venomancer do a lot of damage over time in a fight, especially once they get levels. But as far as instant kill potential, they want to try and like burst down Genkanaga before there's like a song or something. He may as well get this Dagon. It does mean he doesn't have the Blink initiation, which is going to limit what they can do. But I think already they're playing on the back foot at this point, so yeah, it seems okay.
Well, that's going to open up a free Roche for Big God. And Zhao 8 in all likelihood will take that. He has a plate mouse, so in all likelihood going for the AC. I guess it could technically be a Shiva's, but doubtful. And he's going to pick up a haste. He has Manta now. And 1,000 gold on top of that. So the question is, does he go Basher? Does he go a little bit more tankability with BKB? Or even Heart?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I
mean, Eternal Envy's notorious for not getting BKB, although he's gotten a little bit better at it.
Yeah, I don't think this is a great... It's just the Lion you would get the BKB for. I guess it's an Alchemist Blink stun, but like that last fight, Lion kind of got dealt with by the Static Storm, so yeah. I think Heart or Basher's good. The Butterfly Evasion... Eventually you could get a Butterfly, but if you want to try and get kills, the Abyssal Blade is just so nice on the Anti-Mage, so I would lean towards building towards an Abyssal Blade.
This tier 2 tower, no defense from Cloud9 because they are in the enemy jungle, smoked up, and not going to find anybody. Fata, Aghanim Scepter up and running.
Yeah, almost
what level is he? He's level 15.
Yeah,
okay,
almost 16.
Really wants to hit that 16, then he starts dealing these disgusting amounts of damage. ROTK. He's going to find Fata. Don't know if he wants to initiate, though. Okay, he does. He brings him back into Lanham Impale. Victor, I don't believe, is off cooldown. Another 34 seconds, but the Death Ward along with the right clicks. More than enough damage to take out Fata, who couldn't even get off any spells. I don't even know if he wanted to be honest.
That's
cooldown's 120 seconds at the moment.
Yeah, that's a nice, pretty big kill to get, so... All right.
Oh my. Okay. Well, we were talking about Ag's potential for misery, and he finishes it. It's a rush of an Ags. Brown boots, TP, Aghanim Scepter. But it's... I would put it in top 15 of Ags upgrades as far as how useful they are. It's...
Top 15.
What? I didn't want to say top 10 because I don't know if it's that good.
I thought you were going to go like top 5.
No.
And then I'd be like, top 5. Is it top 5? You say top 15. I'm like, sure. I'll absolutely.
So I've said top 5 for about like 15 things. So
yeah.
It's kind of a notorious thing with Synderen and I. But
okay.
Would you agree with top 15?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, just looking at this game, it's out of these 10 heroes, it's probably the best Ags upgrade. I mean, actually no, Witch Doctor is like top 3.
Yeah, Witch Doctor would be top 5. I'm going to stick with top 5.
Yeah.
And I think a very underrated one is Disruptor. I mean, the AoE Doom, basically.
Yeah.
If you can pull it off, it is arguably a top 5 Ags, but it's just not consistent enough, I think.
Yeah, I think as far as like competitive application goes, AA Ags upgrade is like just generally better. It's more reliable than the Disruptor one. But there's some spells which just scale so like I feel like I don't know how Valve just like put numbers on these things. Like Witch Doctor Ultimate, like the damage output like triples or quadruples with an Ag Scepter.
Oh, that's not Valve. That was Dota 1. It was the same.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, it might have been better in Dota 1, honestly.
I think, yeah, it was
really good.
Better, and then they made it like the non-Ags version a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like the Venom Ultimate where it goes from 120 second cooldown to 60 with Ags. And it's just like, well,
and
from level 2 to level 3. It's like, what?
Exactly.
Why is there a 60-second reduction at level 3?
They know Ancient Apparition has Ags now, I'm pretty sure. Because LAN-M is at literally half health, if not lower.
Man.
That is...
This is where, like, C9 are having problems dealing with Big God's Lamp, but all it's going to take is one nice Poison Nova Ice Blast, and you're going to see 2 to 3 heroes melt with, like, no... It's such, like, a low-risk thing. You just pop those ultimates and you just run, let the 2 spells damage over time do their job.
Right. Xiao Wei gonna solo the tower. They think he has backup, and he does, in the form of LAN-M and Ice Ice Ice. Or, Ice Ice. Jesus Christ. Eternal Envy. Gonna back up.
Hasn't decided yet. Imagine he's probably having like an internal discussion / conversation with himself, with his team, like what item is gonna help us out this game.
Right. Yeah, he loves theory crafting, so that I've actually sat in on them before, and it's really entertaining to listen to. And it's gonna be a BKB, so it's not the best BKB game, but it still might be necessary. No Tail, well, he's gonna sacrifice himself for the betterment of his team.
Almost got to Envy there, but...
And that's all that matters at this point, right? Just Envy. I mean, Venomancer or Fata is really important, but all he really needs to do is just get off his ult, right? And the AA Blast, if that combo gets on, I mean, that's just disgusting. Of course, there's a BKB for Alchemist. Who else? Does anybody else? Does Batrider have one? Okay, so that's 2.
He just used his... At this point, I think BKB is really good in Big God. Just it makes Disruptor a non-factor. He's essentially useless against BKBs.
Do you think Batrider's ult's too good? Sorry, random question. Because I was talking about like potential Ags upgrades, and I thought if they ever nerfed him, the way they nerf him is that Lasso does not go through BKB, but if you get an Ags, it does.
It just like goes against like Dota design where ultimates just inherently go through BKB.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, all ultimates apart from Ravage, go through BKB. Obviously, like Finger of Death, you can cast on BKB. It doesn't like you don't take magic damage, but it's still you can use it. You can cast it.
Wait, is that true? The Finger? You sure?
I think so. In Dota 1, it was at least like that. Can you not use Finger? You can use Finger.
I'm trying to think, like, because if it's a single target spell, usually you can't cast, even if it's an ultimate. I mean, it depends on the ultimate, I suppose.
I thought you could. I know in Dota 1, I feel like I've done it, tried it. I just mental block. I don't know.
I've always thought about how they just arbitrarily pick Aghanim's upgrades sometimes.
Yeah.
Because like some of these heroes have such good ultimates. I don't know how because I know the goal is to get Ags on every hero, right? So it's just seems like a tall order.
I feel like a cool Ags upgrade for Batrider would be he's in permanent Firefly.
Oh, that's too good though.
But like the fire only lasts for like whatever duration. But you're permanent Firefly. Like it probably would be too good. I just feel like it'd be a really
permanent
cool...
Firefly as far as like walking up cliffs and stuff, but not the actual.
He's
fire
always
portion.
flying. Well, the fire portion is always there, but the fire like goes away after 15 seconds. So you have like a 15 seconds worth of fire trail behind you.
Oh, I see. Now he's gonna pop BKB to avoid the glimpse. Actually, a cool little thing you could add instead of that is dragging people does damage based on how far they're being dragged.
Okay. Like
something
a pseudo rupture.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's a good point. A good comparison. Xiao Wei pops Chemical Rage. Eternal Envy is actually scared, and he probably should be because the rest of BG's on their way.
Yeah. His hero is just doesn't match up too well against the. That's the thing. Like the Naga versus Antimage is kind of a wash. I don't think either does great against the other. But Alchemist, once he gets an Abyssal Blade, which I gotta imagine is his next item, is gonna just man up and wreck the Anti-Mage probably in any kind of a man fight.
They're grouping up towards this tier 2, and it looks like C9 wants to defend. Fata's ult is up. Heart picked up by Naga Siren. A nice impale by Bone 7 onto Zhao 8. They don't have any vision, though. Here comes the counter initiation on the Bone 7. Gets hexed. Concoction up. BKB as well, but here's the BKB from Eternal Envy. He's trying to right-click Zhao 8, who's going to end up stunning himself. Of course, BKB doesn't matter. He's going to attempt to run away along with Lan M. And so far, the Glimpse bringing ROTK back. They're not going to find anything there, though. How is there no deaths right now? Lan M taking quite a bit of damage. Concoction, look at the Mana Void! How much damage that did to Zhao Wei, but the Death Ward on top of everybody. Eternal Envy taking a lot of physical damage, but he's going to clean up the Witch Doctor and Zhao Wei before falling in the end. I think ROTK, can you get him? BKB still activated on him. Eternal Envy might go for some creep kills to get some health back. But in the meantime, Ancient Apparition does get his ult off on Burning, who is still alive and well. Did he join this fight really late?
Yeah, I think he came in kind of late. I was looking at this fight, I was like, this looks like Cloud9 are just walking over them because Naga's not here. And then Naga just rocks up and then everything kind of changes.
Well, that is Naga for you, I suppose. She did use her ult. That's the first... Correct me if I'm wrong. That is the first usage of Song of Siren.
Yeah. There's been a few times where it's like he's kind of dead and didn't use it because it wouldn't have saved him from the poison damage, so... Still kind of even fight. It was a 3-for-2, but Big God lose Alchemist, Cloud9 just lose supports. I mean, at this point, Nick's effectively a support, so...
They're playing with 3 supports, essentially.
So from that point of view, I think it was kind of even, and...
But Burning's just getting bigger and bigger. Has the heart, and 3,200 gold on top of that. Manta? Next?
Basher, yeah.
Oh, he has a Manta. Damn.
Oh, a Naga,
so
yeah.
So probably Butterfly next, I suppose.
Butterfly or Diffuse. Eventually, probably wants a Diffusal just for the illusion mana burn on the Anti-Mage is really nice if you ever ensnare him. Although he can't, I mean, he can BKB and whatnot, but...
God, they're already ridiculously hard to kill. And this is Naga Siren Gaming. Let the booze commence from TI3. Or TI2, actually, sorry. TI3 was extremely good.
The TI3 Naga was the
support,
hype Naga. That was the support Naga where people got excited about Naga again.
Yeah.
People were like, yeah, we need more Naga now. The EGM Naga Siren.
But yeah, smoke for Cloud9.
And
looking for Roche. Not going to be up for another minute.
Could have been in the last 60 seconds, but just not the timing. I think they were more looking to catch Big God there. I'm worried about that.
Oh, Zhao 8 initiate on. Do they have vision? Gale will connect, however. There's the Sentry. This might be enough to take out Zhao 8. Even if his BKB wasn't there. Easy kill at the end of the day. Nick's Assassin dies on the back end. Burning. This is what we're going to be focusing on. He pops his illusion. Going to attempt to go for Fata. Death Ward doing a lot of damage, but only to the illusions. Taking out the Disruptor in the end. ROTK. Lasso was apparently used.
Yeah, Veno's maybe going to have some problems getting out of this.
Burning is just burning away.
Can't blink because of the Radiance damage.
Maledict misses. Yeah, Fata, he can pursue. No. Get a 4-step, he might be able to get out of this, but the cask and the tower should be enough to take him out. Yep. And down he goes. So it's a 3-for-1. It was a really good pickoff on the Alchemist. And the thing I wanted to say was, even if the BKB got him away from the fight, he would have died to the AAL. That's the beauty of it. It just lasts so long once that BKB popped.
Yeah. Well, for Cloud9, they're kind of still keeping in this game. It's just this weird... It's all... Their late game is just the Anti-Mage as far as physical damage goes. They've got insane magic damage, but in order for them ever to push out, either they need 5 Big God Heroes dead, and basically they need Naga dead, I guess. Naga and Alchemist need to be dead, which they can do with Veno, with the Ancient Apparition, or... I mean, they just have no way of pushing. That's the nature of their lineup. They kind of have to wait for a huge team fight victory. So Big God just kind of pick their fights wisely, play around the Batrider Lasso ganks. This is a really difficult game for C9 to win.
ROTK with the Boots of Travel now. Not sure if they have vision or not. He's playing it very passively, and they do.
There's a few sentries here and there. Yeah, I think he's going to walk back into it. He sees it with the gem, though.
Yeah. He's had that gem ever since he picked it. They've had this gem for the majority of the game. I don't know how long they lost it for. Like, how long was that?
It was like 20 seconds. It was like he lost it to the AA, and then the AA died right after to Lion.
And it looks like it's going to be Butterfly for Naga. So Burning, farming out of control. Eternal Envy, what can you do? You have the Skull Basher. Going to turn that into Abyssal Blade, but is that enough?
The big difference... Whoa,
yeah, land in the wrong place. Bye-bye.
The big difference this game is just the difference in impact of the Bat and the Nyx, it feels like. Because it's like Anti-Mage and Naga both farming really well. Naga is slightly higher impact because of the split push, but Bat's finding pickups.
BKB unstable concoction. Can he find a target? Nope. So nothing happens there. And back they go. No Tail trying to get a glimpse into a static field and kinetic field. Alchemist, Song of the Siren. ROTK jumps in really early, wants to get a last. He's like, unsong, please. Zhao Wei drops to the deck. Eternal Enemy pops the BKB, and he focuses all his effort against ROTK. Can't even get his ultimate off. That is 3 dead just in the blink of an eye. Burning Force back by a TP. This could be a free Roche for C9.
Yeah, really. No Tail's disrupted, just finding these pickoffs with the glimpse, forcing Big God to make a play. And like they could have just slept and gotten out of there probably, but it's the Batrider blinking in rather than it's just this like slight miscommunication, and everyone's not on the same page with Big God. Part of the nature of them being just this more casual team, they don't scrim, they don't always play together, and you see moments like that where it's just like one person has one idea, everyone else has another idea, and as a result they lose 3. Cloud9, much clearer game plan with them, and they're going to secure possibly a Roshan off of this.
They might try to defend it. The problem is the song is up in 8 seconds. This is going to be enough. Gonna put some illusions out there to... No. Eternal Enemy takes it. No Tail's gonna sacrifice his life. And Eternal Enemy jumps right into Lan-Am, but not able to secure a kill there. Blinks out. Illusion's doing so much damage to Ice. Not gonna be enough for the kill, especially considering his mana is completely drained at this point.
Yeah.
So you were right, it is a Diffusal Blade, and it's even before the butterfly's finished, so it's gonna be the casual talisman for now. And he's going to be essentially 6-slotted once he picks up this butterfly anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of good and bad.
He went for level 2 Diffusal right away. Are you surprised by that?
A little. It gives you. It's really cost-effective agi. So it's like it gives what you get like 15 extra agi I think from upgrading it now. It doesn't actually improve the mana burn, but as far as like he spends 850 gold for 15 agi versus spending like 4k gold to get the butterfly, which is like 40 agi. For like short term, it's more cost-effective, but.
What do you think about a diffusal change where if you're going to buy a level 2 diffusal, you should get 16 charges, or it should stack?
Oh, so you don't
like
lose
I really
the
can't stand the idea of losing the charges. It seems bothersome.
I think it'll just be too strong because level 2 diffusal is already like the cheapest agility you can buy.
Yeah,
like, it's so good.
That's the problem, is that the cost difference between level 1 and 2, it's like you might as well just get level 2, right? But
the scaling of it's like the incentive not to upgrade right away is that you need to preserve your charges, I guess. A game like this, the charges don't do anything, I don't think.
Do they take out the AM illusions? Or they do just damage?
I'm not sure how much damage the purge does to illusions.
I mean, they have Lion to take out both illusions really quickly as well. So
Lion's gonna be really good at that.
Yeah.
And as far as like a lot of these, all these like damage over time spells, the Ice Blast, the Venomance ultimate, you can't actually purge these kind of things off. So the purge charge is just not really what this is more about. If you ever ensnare a hero, just getting insane damage from the mana burn and the agility.
AM on the other hand, finish the Abyssal Blade. Can probably go for a Boots of Travel soon. And of course the Aegis is taking up that 6th slot, that coveted 6th slot.
Because having like issues just getting constantly kited around here. The Disruptor Glimpse forcing bad fights, and Alchemist, we've seen so many. I feel like he's self-stunned more than he's stunned other heroes.
I agree.
Maybe some have been BKB'd off, but so many stuns I've seen him channel and just not find a hero to use it on. Like, I feel like it's maybe a third of his stuns have actually been thrown.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like if everybody but Naga for BG went BKB, this game would be a lot shorter. If they can afford it. Which Doctor?
Lion?
Oh, he's gone. He's almost done it.
I think Lion's also got Noga Club. Yeah,
okay.
BKB just is going to be the answer to the Disruptor.
Then the issue now is Batriders is 5 seconds long.
Yeah.
Alchemist, I'm assuming, he's used this so much. Yeah. Also 5 seconds.
As far as Veno and AA goes, the BKBs are only mildly useful because the Poison Nova goes through, so it still will apply the damage, and the ulti lasts like 17, 18 seconds, so you can theoretically...
You're avoiding 5 seconds of damage.
You're still taking damage from a good 65-70% of the damage in Venom ulti, and Ice Blast, same thing, where it lasts well longer than BKB does.
Uh-oh, they're going to jump in. Lan-Am gets the sheep, but gets blown up right off the bat. ROTK is going to try to counter-initiate, pops the BKB, and is thinking twice about re-entering this fight. Here he goes, onto Bone 7. That's their target of choice the entire game. But oh my god, look at the damage on ROTK. Not able to take him out in one fell swoop, though. Zhao Wei gets hit by the AA ult, so not going to regen very much. Witch Doctor running away.
Burning just...
EE against against Burning. Who's going to win? Mana Void used doing a decent amount of damage, but the Song of Siren will be enough to get him away. Poison Nova's about to end, and the heals just in case from Ice.
Oh, he's
shook it out safe.
Oh, God, that was...
Man, Envy goes balls deep every time.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
He wants to go more.
I guess he's got the Aegis here, so he's like, even if they somehow have another lasso soon or some way of killing me, there's no way they can. It's
only up for another minute, so it's going to be hard to use this now, actually.
Importantly for Big God there is Envy, he used his Abyssal, tried to kill the Bat Rider when he blinked in with the ultimate, but didn't kill. The force up from the Bat, like over a cliff, saved the Bat's life, so it ended up being slightly favored fight for Big God, but this Alchemist, he's got all this farm, got all these items, but just doesn't seem to be doing enough in these fights.
Well, Burning 6-slotted.
Okay.
You literally can't get... Well, what would you replace?
You don't replace anything. You get your, like, 7... You get your courier items now. Like, your Refresher on your courier.
The 8-slot.
Yeah. None of these items can really be replaced. And like, what else would you replace it with? Is the
just
other
pure
thing.
damage. I mean, so...
A Daedalus, I guess, or...
Like, if you're going to have the courier follow you, you'd use the Manta, then drop it into the courier and put something else like a damage item in there, like Daedalus, I would assume would be the best choice.
Having the Refresher to refresh your Manta and refresh your Song of the Siren potentially in the fight, or even your Mirror Illusions, like, have a 30-second-ish cooldown, so... What's the recipe on Witch Doctor? That's not his.
That is Lan M's recipe. So Lan M is only a Mithril Hammer away from finishing.
That's so why is the Witch Doctor got it?
That is really random. Wait, whose is this?
That's his actual BKB recipe.
Picked up the wrong one. Didn't put his name on it. MKB for Anti-Mage. So that's going to go right through the butterfly.
And Anti-Mage are also 6-slotted now, I think. He's dropped his Vlads already.
Oh, Boots of Travel, I guess, technically.
Often, like, you see these players, like, even when they have the money for Boots of Travel as well as buyback, they sometimes just like staying on the treads.
Oh, they're going to initiate on the... Oh, okay. Lasso does not go off, and he is able to blink out to safety. So BKB... Oh, Glimpse. Naga gets Static Storm, but there's no kinetic field to follow it up with. That's a wasted ult. But Fata still has his, and we didn't even mention the fact that not only does he have daggers...
Oh, God. Naga loses inside the
Are you
base.
serious?
Almost get a double kill.
And Radiance. Jesus.
Bone 7 was even Dagoning down those illusions just to kill him faster.
That's a good use of the Dagons, I suppose.
Well,
counter-warding action now. We haven't talked about the Veil of Discord, though, as well, along with the magic damage from Venno. Yeah, and I mean, it works in the same way like you talked about the Poison Nova. It technically stays through BKB, right? So
Venno's going Dagon. At this point, they just want more damage because they have no like late-game carry, so killing heroes gets harder and harder with just spells, but hey, throwing these some Dagon 5s in. I think it's like, what else is Venno go? Like a Scythe of Ice is okay, but you're hexing someone for what? Like, if the Anti-Mage is there, you kill him, but as far as, like, if Anti-Mage isn't there, you need a way to kill heroes, and that's what Dagon will give you.
ROTK wants to initiate. I think C9's going to give up this tier 2. Okay, maybe not. EP. Fata, everybody's coming in. Nice impale there for Bone 7. He's not able to pick out anybody, just pops his illusions and BKB. And with that, BG's just going to back up. I mean, BKB was used by Xiaowei, but that's the 5 seconds. He doesn't really care too much.
Don't want to get caught by a glimpse.
Uh-oh, there's a lasso. Death Ward combination. Fata, he does have Poison Nova. Is he going to be able to get it off? No! Drops to the deck right off the bat, and nobody was even there for Cloud9.
Yeah, I
Perhaps a little bit of miscommunication.
The glimpse is on corner. He was chasing to get vision using the Plague Wards for a glimpse, but not sure what happened. The glimpse ended up getting used and, well, didn't make too much out of it.
Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
And with that, that's 60 seconds. He does have buyback, and all his spells are up. Question is he going to use it? I think he probably should here, because BG has no reason to back up at the moment. Are they just going to give this up? There's no fortification. Here's the initiation. Burning, taking a ton of damage, and the Static Storm kinetic field combination along with the AO. Look at the Mana Void. That's 2 kills, basically. Xiaowei extremely low. He is hit very hard. ROTK goes down to the reckless of Anti-Mage. And Venomancer did buy back.
I don't know if Naga wants to fight. Naga bought back, TP'd into the mid lane, but I think you just get the hell out of there.
Do you know if Xiaowei was hit by the AA ult? Because if he wasn't, that would have definitely been enough for the kill.
I'm watching now.
That's right, you're behind.
It looks like he just avoided it somehow.
Man, that would have been huge.
Yeah, he did
if
not.
They got in that kill.
He got hit by the Venno ulti. He was on 1 HP the entire fight. He was 1 HP with like the Poison Nova only half duration through, but obviously not fatal damage.
Right.
So
that's insane.
He just TP'd home and had 1 HP the entire time. Like, he's like, well, I can't fight.
Well, he just... I guess the tier 2 is going to be the attempt here. Zhao 8. He's going to actually get the stun. Oh, wow, that blink was fast. Of course, it's not enough to disjoint. That isn't... You can't disjoint the unstable concoction, unfortunately. It will follow you to the ends of the earth. And Envy and company going to back up. Level 25 now. Weren't able to secure the tier 2, but they did win that fight. And the racks were saved. That's obviously the most important.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that was a big... The good thing is they killed Naga and Naga pulled back. So if they just pull back to hold the racks and the Naga doesn't die there, it's really bad. It's bad for C9, but Naga being forced to put buyback on cooldown, so both Naga's buyback and Venom's buybacks on cooldown. Anti-Mage has buyback, so I feel like Cloud9, even though they're going to be giving up Roshan here with Aegis and Cheese, are not in too desperate of a position, because for Big God it's very risky to go for a push when Naga only has 1 life. I think they may just...
Oh, what? Lion took the Aegis.
Yeah, Naga's 6 slotting. It's like it goes back to like the what do you drop kind of question.
True. That's a good point. Yeah. Well, who took the cheese? Is that going to be... Alchemist can't drop anything either. So the Bat Rider then? No. Witch Doctor? Okay, it's the Witch Doctor.
All right. Witch Doctor would love to build towards Nags now. I like the BKB rush, but yeah, the Ags for some actual damage needs to come.
Even Lan M wouldn't mind an Aghanim Scepter at some point, but obviously BKB is higher priority.
On the Lion.
Yeah. I mean, not just because of the AoE and I think it's a damage increase as well, right? But it's mostly the cooldown is 20 seconds is so ridiculous.
I'm trying to think like what actually will help against all this like magic damage. Like, pipe is only 400. Pipe is just kind of useless. You can get like just pipe for yourself, but
talk about an underpicked item now. Yeah. Holy jeez.
Pipe needs to be. I feel like that's one of the items which really needs to be reworked in some way. It's just too expensive, and it kind of counters like. At the end of the day, it's just like a 4. It's the same as a mech in the sense that like mech's a 250 heal, but pipe it blocks 400 AoE damage. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem to do what it's meant to. The heroes that can farm it, there's always just better items on for them.
And the siege will begin.
Yeah, I think all they can really do is try chip at the range tracks. I don't see them being able to engage in. They won't want to risk it with the Naga buyback on cooldown.
Bone 7 wants to get an Impale. Don't even think he can get Vendetta into Impale, to be honest. The Invis is used just to get a free Impale, essentially, at this point.
He'll be using, like, if he ever sees a blink opportunity to get, like, a 2-3 hero Impale.
Yeah.
But Acid Spray doing a pretty good job of messing with that Blink Dagger. And Big God just...
Well, let's look at the cooldown on Naga's buyback. So another 3.5 minutes. Do you think they just wait for that?
It's like, what are they achieving here? They're not actually sieging. They're not actually taking the melee. Like, they do no damage to the melee Rex. I guess the range Rex.
Yeah, the range Rex is permanent damage at the very least.
Yeah. They force fortification.
Okay.
All right. That's at least a small win. The Firefly's on cooldown. They need to be a bit careful now because they don't want to fight when they don't have the Firefly.
Yeah. It's about 70% done. Nope, Impale's going to hit on Zhao, but the initiation by RRTK onto Bone 7. Why do they keep going for Bone 7? He doesn't even matter at this point of the game, but they're going to kill him. So it turns into a 4v5. He does not have buyback.
If they get him for nothing, it's okay. But yeah, they've lost fights by throwing too much at Bone 7. Anti-Mage now buys a Butterfly.
Yeah, I think he's bought out completely, right? Oh, he has a little bit of money, actually.
What did he actually get rid of the Butterfly? He hasn't dropped anything yet. He'll probably like use his BKB, then drop the BKB.
Yeah, in all likelihood. This is a free Rax. They're going to give it up, as they probably should. And back goes BG.
Yeah.
Aegis still online.
At this point, one lane of Rax is actually not a big deal. Heroes like Naga, Anti-Mage at 50 minutes in, when they're 6-slotted, don't care about one lane of Rax now. But the second lane, then things get tricky.
Okay, here we go. EE jumps in. Abyssal Blaze Zhao, who gets 4-step right off the bat. BKB popped by Eternal Envy. Uses his ult onto Burning. He's at half HP. Is he going to go down? Yes! He falls to the guy. Doesn't have buyback, of course, but look at the Death Ward go. Doing so much damage to Eternal Envy. That's a 1-for-1 trade. Make it 2 kills for Witch Doctor, but the buybacks are here in full. Lan M, Zhao 8. And Ice Ice on the run. The Venomancer ult doing so much. Okay. Cheese pop by Zhao 8. It was passed off by Ice Ice. Glimpse back into the fray of things, and the bashes are out of control. Zhao 8 stuck inside the kinetic field. Gets an Impale. Nicely done on EE. Into Unstable Concoction. Is enough to take him out. That is a dieback on Eternal Envy, and No Tail will be the second death. And on they push in all likelihood.
Some game-winning coconuts coming out from the Witch Doctor.
You guys in coconuts.
That was some, like, of the Bahamas finest A-grade coconuts right there. Oh, my gosh. That was just... Cloud9 thought they had it. They're like, we bought back, Naga's dead, let's chase and get another kill, but it was the Witch Doctor Alchemist, and suddenly Venom's the last line of defense here. He's got an ultimate in like 10 seconds, but this is a second lane of racks.
Yeah, absolutely. If nothing. Oh, gets a nice impale. She pretty much right off the bat to land him into another impale for himself. And Xiaowei just focusing on the racks. Talk about objective gaming. Oh my god, Lanham actually gets the finger off in time. And poor Bone 7 yet again.
It's a 113 kind of game for him.
And they actually used the Aegis. It was about to go away actually in about 20 seconds, so that's fortunate for him.
Tower is being attacked.
Why not?
Xiaowei. Okay, Fata's just going all out Dagon gaming now. Dagon 4.
There's no items which really make too much more than the Dagon, I don't think.
And Naga's up in 10 seconds with Boots of Travel. And she'll be here very shortly.
Buyback, I think, too. Naga has buyback in 30 seconds, yeah. This is almost just... Naga has 2 lives when she TPs in. That's a really scary thought.
Xiaowei, cold feet, cold-footed, whatever you want to call it. Don't see that very often in the late game. Here's the initiation yet again. Xiaowei stuck inside a kinetic field. BKB's pop galore. ROTK gonna bring down the Venomancer before he can get anything off. He's gonna buy back into the game, but his usefulness is, I don't know. The Dagon 4, I suppose, is all he can do, but Burning is here to ensure the victory for BG as Mega Creeps go their way. Oh, I'm sorry, there's still range racks that Bone 7 is TPing to and trying to defend with all his might, but the brunt of BG is coming into town to take out this last racks, and finally, the Mega Creeps are here for BG, and Cloud9 just can't stand against this late game Naga Siren. Even though they took her out, it's like we talked about early game, Xiaowei just does a lot of damage as well.
Xiaowei and the supports having some high impact plays in the late game. That's where, I mean, this Disruptor seems to be like at times like a game winner when he gets that one big glimpse off, and it forces you to play very differently. But I mean, Big God, these like late game Cask, Witch Doctor Ultimate, the Voodoo Restoration, working actually pretty well against the Venom ulti. Sure, the Ice Blast is there, but the Ice Blast not always hitting everyone. So somehow Big God haven't won this game quite yet, but it really feels like Cloud9's draft can't deal with Megas. Anti-Mage is the only hero really equipped for it, and if you want to win if you want to ever win a late game, I feel like you need 2 or at least 2, generally 3 heroes that can clear out Mega Creeps, and with just one, they've got no chance of that.
It's going to be super tough. Xiaowei trying to clear the lane for himself. He has a butterfly. I'm sorry, that's Anti-Mage. Okay, we're going to click on Xiaowei officially now. He's 6 left as well. I mean, Shadow Blade you don't necessarily have to have, I suppose. There's the refresher, just in case. Put on the courier, I'm sure. Do they have 2 couriers? Yeah.
I think, the 2 couriers so he can have the refresher nearby.
So annoying. I think that needs to be fixed, by the way. I don't like that idea.
The 7 items or whatever?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't mind it because it's quite hard to do. Like dropping items, and then picking something up. But just the idea,
it's more, it's not that, it's more the refresher being used in that manner. Like, I feel like you need, if you want to use the refresher, you have to keep it in your inventory kind of thing. You have to use it.
Should lock.
Yeah. Fata going to take the initiation from Xiaowei. BKB's popping in. Both not able to get a good kill because of BKB's. And the right click should suffice to take out Fata. He does get his ultimate off. That's probably the most important thing. Trigger Death used to finish off EE, and GGs are called. Big God, looking real good.
Yeah, I mean, Cloud9 seems to be doing okay for a lot of this game. They've never really had a good way of pushing things out, but you know, it's one of those things. I feel like they almost like lose some confidence and they're kind of going on tilt after the secret game. Like, you lose to a techies. That's going to be kind of demoralizing. I can't remember who I was talking to, but someone was just like, can you just imagine like how much EE is going to go on tilt and how much he would just like he's a very kind of emotional person, and losing to a techies is a big thing. That's a hero which obviously has been kind of the joke of the Dota community as long as I can remember. And